Fallon, I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Mike.
And the greatest driver.
Graham.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Mike.
owes me $5.
What?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. Here are the safety rules. Please stay seated when we're moving. Keep your arms and legs inside always. If you have an emergency of any kind, for example, a medical emergency, you drop something, or you notice sound video problems, just reach overhead, grab the emergency cord, runs down the center of the tram right above you. I'll come back to assist you when it is safe to do so. No smoking on the tram, and during the tour we will encounter sudden tram movements, so hold on to your belongings. We'll hear loud noises. We'll experience fire effects, and you may get wet. We have water effects on the back lot. So always protect your cameras. That's it for the safety rules. But keep those cameras out. This is a very exciting time at Universal Studios. 100 years ago, the studio founded by Mr. Carl Laemmle. You see Carl Laemmle up on your screens. He's in the middle there. And as we enter the studio, take a look at the movie posters on both sides of the tram. They represent a few of the thousands of movies we've entertained you with over the last century. Top of the posters trace the history of the Universal logo as it's appeared in theaters, and on your screens, the newest logo in our Globe family. You know, another thing we have done for our centennial celebration, released the list of our 100 greatest movies of all time. Many of them filmed right here on the Universal lot. On the tour today, we're going to point out some of the locations. On your screens, black and white footage of a classic 1940s movie of ours we thought we had lost. See if you recognize this film.
I have the room ready for you and Mrs. Barrington.
Thank you, Will.
Did you hear that? Mrs. Barrington.
Not quite, darling, but soon.
Very, very soon. Hello. Yes?
Have a bottle of champagne sent to the room at once. And make sure that we are not disturbed for any reason.
And I bet you figured it out. That's not an old movie. Jimmy Fallon filmed that scene inside stage 20. Gives you a great idea what the inside of a sound stage looks like, with a set built in it.
That was great.
That was great. That was great. Excellent. Excellent.
The outside of a sound stage you can see on your left-hand side. We're going by sound stage 12, one of the largest sound stages in the world. It's over 29,000 square feet. Our Emmy-nominated blockbuster NBC show, The Voice, uses stage 12. Boy, that show came back in a big way for the third season with those wonderful judges, Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, CeeLo Green, and Christina Aguilera. The live shows are going on now. They're on Monday and Tuesday nights. Very exciting. Who will win The Voice? Now, stage 12 is one of 35 sound stages that we have on the front lot. We always get 98% soundproofing with our sound stages. Inside, we put heavy padding on the walls and ceiling to help keep the sound in when filming occurs. And the width of the walls is about 18 inches thick. That also helps keep sound in when filming takes place. We turn, and on your left, there are 4 sound stages. Stages 25, 24, 23, and 22. Those stages are home to the high-rated drama CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, which of course stars Ted Danson and Elizabeth Shue. There are sound stages on the other side of the CSI stages. Now, some of those are used for the new Matthew Perry show, Go On, which airs Tuesday nights on NBC. The Mindy Project also films on the front lot. And if you are a fan of late-night talk shows, we are happy to announce that Chelsea Lately with Chelsea Handler now originates from stage 1 on our front lot. That show airs weeknights, 11 p.m. on the E! Network. We also have sound stages on your right, next to us on the right. Oldest building on the front lot, Soundstage 28. Currently being used for a new Universal movie, R.I.P.D., starring Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. 28 was built over 80 years ago to house the elaborate Paris Opera House sets for the Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney. There's Lon Chaney as the Phantom on your screens. Oh, it's scary. Look around you. Look away. Well, a lot of vehicles. Anybody on a golf cart, quick way to get around the studio. Trailers could be dressing rooms for actors, wardrobe trailers, makeup trailers, bigger semi-trailer trucks might hold lighting equipment, sound equipment, props, those kinds of items we use when we are filming. And what films over on the right, stage 41, our new NBC comedy Guys with Kids, airing Wednesday nights, executive produced by Jimmy Fallon. It's very interesting that sandwiched between two sound stages about shows that deal with raising kids, coming up on your right, the mischievous Minions, Illumination Entertainment, producers of hits like Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, Despicable Me, and next summer's Despicable Me 2. Now that other show that deals with raising children, Parenthood. Over here on the right we have stage 44. Parenthood uses this stage. Parenthood back on Tuesday nights with Craig T. Nelson, Lauren Graham, Peter Krause, and Emmy nominee Jason Ritter. Well, we are part of that NBC Universal family, and this media powerhouse consists not only of Universal Studios, but many of our favorite TV networks as well, like NBC, Sci-Fi, USA, great show on USA, Burn Notice. We have Bravo, Telemundo, the Golf Channel, the new NBC Universal News Group, which includes CNBC, MSNBC, and the Weather Channel. We also have Oxygen and NBC Sports, just to name a few. Today, of course, our focus, Universal Studios. Some other buildings on the front lot, the bungalows on the left, used to be dressing rooms. Now they're production offices. There's the Hasbro bungalow. We collaborated with Hasbro on the movie Battleship. The bungalow on the other side of Hasbro's, 5195. Recognize that profile near the number? The profile of the legendary director Alfred Hitchcock. That was his bungalow when he directed On the Lot. Mr. Hitchcock directed classic films like Psycho, The Birds, Rear Window, Vertigo. Universal Home Entertainment has just released on Blu-ray the Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection, which includes all of his great films, including Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock was known as the master of suspense, and he was very familiar with the section of the studio we're crossing onto now, the back lot. Back lot where we shoot all the big stuff. Outdoor scenes on a very large scale. Over on your right, we are bringing you into the metropolitan set area of the back lot. The buildings are facades, front and sides of the structures. When we make a movie or TV show, we always go through 3 steps. Pre-production, get everything ready. Production, we do the filming, and then post-production, we put the movie or TV show together. Look over on the right, you'll see those steps going up to the apartment building. A lot of production has occurred on that street, Brownstone Street. Here are some of our movies that filmed on the street. Notice in the clip the different looks Brownstone Street has had down through the years. We always keep these areas on the back lot plain looking. When a production moves in, we'll make it look like any city in the world we want, also any time period. How about we do a little time traveling? Let's bring in to Courthouse Square, better known as Hill Valley, from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. So as we enter Courthouse Square, you're looking around, and I bet you're wondering, where is the clock tower? I will tell you where it was. On your left, on the other side of the park. See the facade with the steps? It says City Hall. That was the famous courthouse clock tower in Back to the Future. Here is the producer of the movie, Mr. Bob Gale, to tell us what an important role Courthouse Square played in the film.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up at the clock tower on that ledge. It was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
Another classic movie of ours that did some filming here in Courthouse Square, To Kill a Mockingbird. We're going to leave Hill Valley behind us and take you to an entirely different part of our country, New York. Well, we're going to pull onto New York Street. We call it New York Street because it's appeared as a street in that great city in many, many productions. And speaking of New York, our host, Jimmy Fallon, is no stranger to the city. That's where he tapes his show Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. So why don't we bring Jimmy in live via satellite? He can tell us a little more about what it's like to work in New York.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. By an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me?
No.
Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Yes, that's right, Jimmy. We can create New York right here in this section of our studio. You know, Spider-Man scaled some of our buildings. The movie The Amazing Spider-Man filmed here for about 3 months. We've also had the pleasure of great TV shows like NCIS film in our metropolitan set area. Great director Steven Spielberg helped us design the Metro sets so we could get the most film use out of them. He's one of the legendary directors we've collaborated with. Another director we've had the pleasure to work with, an Academy Award winner, Mr. Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker.
Action!
I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Skull Island.
Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, the largest, most intense 3D experience on the planet, King Kong.